Surprising cool hotspots under Earth's crust has been found by scientists. This is by Charles Q. Choi, Inside Science, American Institute of Physics. The hotspots that created volcanic islands, such as those of Hawaii, Iceland, and the Galapagos Islands, which is the Galapagos volcano is now erupting, may often prove surprisingly cool, according to a new study finding. These findings suggest that such hotspots may not always originate from giant plumes of scorching hot rock welling up from near Earth's core, as previously thought, scientists noted. Volcanoes are typically found near the borders of tectonic plates, born from clashes between those giant slabs of rock as they drift on top of the mantle layer between Earth's core and crust. Classical examples of such volcanoes are those that make up the so-called Ring of Fire on the Pacific Rim. However, volcanoes sometimes erupt in the middle of tectonic plates. The sources of these hotspots might be mantle plumes, as we have in Yellowstone, for example. Even the Great Lakes, there's a mantle plume under there. Mantle plumes, mushroom-shaped pillars of hot rock ascending from the deep mantle to sear overlying material like a blowtorch. As tectonic plates wander over such plumes, geologists think chains of volcanic islands can emerge. Previous research suggested volcanic hotspots are roughly 100 to 300 degrees Celsius, that's 180 to 540 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than mid-ocean ridges, where magma rises as tectonic plates spread apart underwater. This supported the view that hotspots were heated by matter from near Earth's hot core and mid-ocean ridges by cooler mantle rock. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Now scientists find that many hotspots are dramatically cooler than previously thought, raising questions about their origins. A substantial fraction of hotspots do not fit the classical plume model, said Vedran Ledzic, seismologist at the University of Maryland, College Park, who did not participate in the study. In the new study, researchers analyzed the velocity of seismic waves rippling through the mantle underneath oceanic hotspots and ridges to estimate temperatures at those sites. Seismic waves travel faster through cold rocks. Roughly 45% of hotspots are more than 279 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than mid-ocean ridges. However, about 40% are only 50 to 136 Celsius or 90 to 245 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than mid-ocean ridges, not particularly hot, and therefore not buoyant enough to support the active upwelling of rock from the deep mantle. What's more, roughly 15% of hotspots are essentially cold, only 36 degrees Celsius hotter or less than mid-ocean ridges. To shed light on the origins of these different varieties of hotspots, the scientists also examined the ratio of rarer helium-3 to more common helium-4 in their rock. The atomic cores of helium-3 each possess just 1 neutron, whereas helium-4 nuclei each have 2. Helium found in Earth's crust is mostly helium-4, arising from the breakdown of uranium and other radioactive isotopes over time, whereas helium deep from within Earth is richer in helium-3, likely from reservoirs of ancient material, preserving the original ratio found between these isotopes during Earth's first days. The researchers discovered hotspots possessing a much higher ratio of helium-3 to helium-4 than cold hotspots. Although the classic model of hotspots originating from plumes welling up from deep mantle may explain hot hotspots, including most of the famous ones such as those underlying Hawaii, Iceland, and Galapagos, Samoa, and Easter Island, perhaps the truth is that only a few hotspots truly behave like our classical model of mantle plumes and hotspots, said study co-author Carolina Lithgow-Bertoloni, a geodynamicist at University of California, Los Angeles. This reinforces that what some researchers have argued previously, which is that the term hotspot is misleading and that volcanoes don't fit the plate tectonic paradigm should rather be referred to as melting anomalies, quote unquote. This is what seismologist Ross McGuire from University of New Mexico said. He did not take part in the research. Cooler hotspots may instead originate in the upper mantle or from slow-moving deep plumes that have more time to cool, or from deep plumes that interact with and get cooled by swirling mantle rock. If this is real, it will be a challenge for geodynamicists to explain such a finding, said Bernhard Steinberger, geodynamicist at German Research Center for Geosciences at Potsdam, who was not part of this work. He said these results will doubtlessly trigger new research. All in all, the classical view of plumes is not so much flawed than more complex than presented 30 to 50 years ago. Instead, this work points to a much greater variety among plumes, Steinberger said. It is kind of like whenever you get a new close-up view of a planet or a moon, it has some totally unexpected features, but it is still round. In the future, the scientists would like to analyze every hotspot in more detail to get an even better sense of their temperatures. Lithgow Bertonelli said they also aim to conduct more computer simulations testing various cool hotspot scenarios, she said. The researchers detailed their findings in January 7 issue of journal Science magazine. This is by Inside Science America Institute of Physics on phys.org. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Some postulated hotspot volcano chains: Hawaii, Louisville Ridge, Walvis Ridge, Kodiak, that's of course in Alaska, Cobb, Ekelberg Seamount, New England Seamounts. Yes, we do have Atlantic Seamounts towards New England. Anaheim Volcanic Belt, so there's a amount of hotspot under there. There we go. Those are 30 underground seamounts pointing towards Maine. Maine has 4 volcanoes in a 100-mile radius, right there. So that is a hotspot, as we learned today. Every day we learn something else. Anaheim hotspot. Where was the Tristan hotspot? Somewhere there. Okay, Kodiak, as we said, was right there. Walvis Ridge is right there. Anaheim, we said, Mackenzie Dike, North America. Great Meter hotspot track. Again, that's right there, New England hotspot. St. Helena Seamount. Southern Mascarena Plateau. That's in just above Madagascar. 90 East Rock Ridge. Tuamotu. Austral Gilbert Marshall Chain. McDonald Hotspot. Juan Fernandez Ridge, right there, Central America. Tasmatid Seamount Chain, near Australia. Canary Islands, as we know. Canary Islands at La Palma is, of course, a hotspot. Cape Verde. Okay, that's another hotspot. So these are some of the hotspots, some of what they look like. Hawaii, Mauna Loa, Axial Seamount off California, Kodiak, Bowie Seamount, as we said, Mauna Loa, as we said again. So quite a lot around the world. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.